We are live with Ohio's on Fire. This is the show where Ohio throws down. I'm your host, Mr. Daniel R. Hood. I'm live once again. I love this show more than anything. Well, I don't know about that, but it's way up there. And I'm glad you guys are here with me tonight for this Monday night edition. I'll tell you what's coming up tonight. I got a live interview in about 20 minutes from now with Clockwork Soul, a great local rock band from around here. It's a great interview. And also I got OMVP, Ohio's Most Valuable Pedestrian. And of course, at the end of the show, I'll have my final message. It's something usually important, something that's from my heart. But that's towards the 10:50 time frame. I'm on for the next 2 hours, if you will. And Lady T's still here. She loves my show, so thanks for being here. I appreciate it. But it is now time to say hello to the state of Ohio. And I got to talk about some things. So a lot of wacky things have been happening in the state of Ohio. Well, first of all, it is Halloween month. A lot of haunted attractions here in Ohio. You can go to like Psychopath. You can go to Haunted Trails. It's really a popular attraction. I went to a few in my day. It's really something. Look, the Kings Island, they have their own haunted attraction for this month of October. And I guess lately there's been some complaints about some of their features at this haunted attraction over at Kings Island. I'll read this report that I got. But the Kings Island, it will not change Halloween attractions for anybody, including a haunted house that prompted protests by mental health advocates. Yes, listen to this. Cedar Point spokesman Robert Eanes said Monday that the park reviewed concerns of the National Alliance on Mental Illness and determined no changes will be needed. The group asked the park last week to drop attractions called Dr. D, Menthed's Asylum for the Criminally Insane, and The Edge of Madness, Still Crazy. The group said they promote false stereotypes about the mental ill. So here's my thought. The reason why I bring this up is that these mental alliances throughout Ohio, they are upset about this certain thing taking place. And yet what gets me is that if you recall a report that I did back in February, the three of you that remember it, there's some issues with mental health hospitals even staying in business. It's come to the point that even over in Huber Heights and Dayton that they've closed down completely, and people that needed mental health evaluations or need to stay someplace, they were kicked to the streets. A lot of these people with mental illnesses are homeless. I think it's hypocritical for these mental health advocates to be so concerned where they're letting these people on the streets willingly. They shouldn't complain about anything as long as that's happening. So I'm going to suggest this. For anyone that was offended by this Kings Island these mental health displays, if you will, at Kings Island, if you're offended by it, you shouldn't be. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to re-extend my invitation to all 100 people that should be in a mental hospital right now. You're going to come to this studio. We're going to party. It'll be the craziest ill party ever. We'll burn the studio down. You and me. So, yeah, that's right. So that's my invitation to all you mental health people that are in trouble. And like I said, it's hypocritical. They shouldn't talk like that as long as people are on the streets and need help. A lot of people are excited about these casinos coming to the state of Ohio in a few years from now. There was some concern that, because I remember having to vote on this a few years ago, that people will be addicted to gambling, as that happens with some people. But it's just like alcohol and tobacco. Even if you shouldn't do it, I mean, if you know it's going to be sick, no one's forcing you to do it. You don't have to gamble. We are adults. If you want to gamble, do that. And casinos are fun. There's going to be more things besides casino playing. I mean, there's Texas Hold'em, of course. You got the little you roll the dice on the field, and the sevens, I forget what it's called, craps. And then also there's blackjack, and then there's bunch of casino games. I can't think of them all. And who knows, maybe Wayne Newton or Celine Dion, maybe they'll come to Ohio and perform. It could happen. Because like Vegas will go all the way. Maybe we can get some musician, like maybe Sig Freaking Roy can come out of retirement and they can perform some magic tricks.
Sig Freaking Roy.
Yeah, Sig Freaking Roy. I'm putting you on. You got something to say, Tierra? No.
Or maybe just Sig Freaking.
I said later, Lady T. You change your name every week. All right.
There's a T in there always somewhere, right?
There's a T somewhere and a lady somewhere else.
Somewhere.
All right. Anyway. This woman I'm about to talk about has to be the dumbest woman in the history of humanity, I think. But there's this accused shoplifter. She over in Alliance, Ohio. She faked a labor to avoid jail time. I have to read the story. This is wow. Well, wish me luck. But anyway, over in Alliance, Ohio, a woman who claimed to be pregnant after her arrest took police and others for an experience that had so many twists and turns that just when you thought you had figured it out, you would be dead wrong. Police say that the story starts with the loss prevention staff at Alliance Walmart believe they saw two women, Katara and Stantel Petty. I said that wrong. Staniel, sorry. It's Staniel. Staniel. They're from Cleveland. They attempted to steal software valued at more than $200 by switching the labels of the merchandise, and they used their homemade labels to make it cheaper. So yes, you can make homemade labels with price bars. I don't know where these women found the time to make these. That's just sad, really. But then we continue with the story. It gets better. Lieutenant Kevin Moore told Fox 8 News the women may have realized they were in trouble and exited the store, leaving the merchandise inside when Walmart security confronted them outdoors. But instead of the Walmart staff calling the police, the two women called the police on themselves. They didn't have the items that they saw them conceal, Lieutenant Moore said, so Walmart actually was going to let them go. The suspect actually called us and wanted to complain that Walmart unlawfully detained them for a theft offense that they didn't steal anything. Lieutenant Moore said that after investigators looked at in-store surveillance video and conducted a thorough investigation, they determined that by Ohio law, the women could be charged even though they never made it out of the store with the software. Moore said Ohio law permits them to file charges if the merchandise leaves the last point of purchase. Okay, here are my thoughts on this. This woman needs a shrink right now. For one, the Walmart people were going to let her go, and then she calls the cops on herself because she's such a psychopath, and then try to make up some story, and then the cops put her in, and I'm trying to, now, the part I want to get to is the doctors are refusing to help her. Like, it was obvious she did not have this baby, unless she's really fat. I mean, what would make them think? It's true. What would make them think that she was pregnant by saying she was pregnant? She has to be like at least, actually there's a picture. You can't see it. She might be about 280 pounds. Lady T's going to examine it.
I don't know them.
Well, I hope not, because they're crazy criminals. So, my advice is that you should not pretend to have a pregnancy to get out of jail. It just makes it worse. They probably would have avoided jail time if they had not done such a thing. So, little kids at home, I hope you learned your lesson. And stay away from that woman if you ever see her on the streets. So.
And to the little boys out there.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me continue on. Go ahead.
And to the little boys out there, that'll never work for you.
Oh, okay.
They can't fake a pregnancy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's some good advice.
The guys out there, don't even think about it.
They know who can fake anyway.
Well, I don't. Yeah, it's just.
I'm caught.
Yeah. Well, if they could put on a wig, though, maybe they could fake being a woman or get some. No, yeah, that's gross. All right, moving on. We are back with Ohio's on Fire, the show where Ohio throws down. I'm your host, Mr. Daniel. Anyway, it's now time for everyone's favorite segment. Everyone jumps off their cars, they jump off cliffs, they ride in the streets just so they can hear this segment, if you will. I think you know what it is. I am talking about OMVP. That stands for Ohio's Most Valuable Pedestrian. Ooh, you know what? I got my music alert. Where's my music? Here we go. Boom. Here we go. Olympic music. Alright, that's enough of that. Anyway, OVP, it goes to someone that did something very interesting throughout the state of Ohio, something wacky, something positive, or was part of an unfortunate situation, but he got out of it really positive-like. It could be anything. It's got to be an Ohio pedestrian. So anywho, and this week it goes to someone who's probably going to make a lot of money now. He has an important job now. But before I get to that, I want to talk about newspapers. When you get your newspaper, I know we have the Dayton Daily News, and we got the Cincinnati Enquirer, and Cincinnati Enquirer, I mean. Of course, you got New York Times. All these states have these newspapers, and I guess I didn't know this until a short time ago, but the newspapers, they have a regulator. There's like a main company that regulates what newspapers can say and do. They're kind of like a league. And the state of Ohio has one big newspaper league where everyone reports to and makes sure they're not doing anything stupid or reporting something that's wrong or could be slanderous to someone at home. So I guess that makes sense. I didn't hear about this till recently, but I'll read this little article. A manager of Northern Kentucky operations for Enquirer Media has been named executive director of the Ohio Newspaper Association. Dennis Hetzel will succeed Frank Diener, who is retiring. His appointment was announced Friday and is effective January 1st, 2011. Hetzel, in 2005, led the launch of NorthernKentucky.com, which averages 1.3 million views monthly. He is the former Kentucky general manager of the Cincinnati-based Enquirer Media, which is owned by Gurnett Co. and includes the Cincinnati Enquirer. Hetzel previously was editor and publisher of the York Daily Record in Pennsylvania and worked at newspapers in Wisconsin and Illinois. The Ohio Newspaper Association represents 81 daily newspapers, as well as weekly and college newspapers and newspaper websites. So you see what I mean? It's a big newspaper representation. And Dennis Hetzel, if I get his name right, he's now the manager. He's going to be the boss in charge. He's going to be the executive director. He is the man of all newspapers. So if you write something bad about yours truly, and if it's after January 1st, 2011, you might hear some from Dennis Hetzel, and hopefully he'll owe me one, because Mr. Dennis Hetzel, Mr. Newspaper Guy, who has been around the East Coast of the United States of America, does a good job of himself, and the newspaper companies and the media, who's now going to be the boss of Ohio Newspaper Association. Dennis Hetzel, you are Ohio's most valuable pedestrian. Give yourself a pat on the back and a round of applause. The family and friends of Dennis Hetzel should be happy. So go out and celebrate. Round of applause. You should go to Red Lobster. It's one of the best restaurants in the world. And I'm not saying that because I'm some sort of sponsor, because I'm not. It's just a good place to eat, dang it. So, Dennis Hetzel, MVP, here's your music. Yes. Wait. Go backwards. There we go. Do 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 do. Here comes the best part. Do 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 do. All right, congratulations, Dennis Hetzel. All right. We are back with Ohio's on Fire, and I'm with my tonight's special guests. They are a rock band from the Dayton, Ohio area. They're known locally, and they're kind of like like a neighborhood legend, if you will. They play some good stuff, but they are a band known as Clockwork Soul. They are here. Say hello, everybody.
What's up, White State?
Hello.
They're here. And introduce yourselves individually. There's a big group of yous.
My name's Jason. I play the drums.
My name's Jason also. I play the bass.
Jason.
My name is Mike. I play lead guitar, synthesizer, and backup.
And I'm Matt. Lead vocalist.
Matt, all right. Well, there we go. That's your band. They're here. So, you guys are known as Clockwork Soul. You kind of do like an experimental hardcore sound with some soul, if you will. But I do want to know, like, what is your purpose as a band? What are you guys all about, really?
Well, I mean, we all have like different eclectic tastes and styles, so we just try to make them all gel together as far as like what the fan would like. It's all about the fan stuff. It's not about us in general. It's trying to get people to listen to different styles of music and not just being on a radio station or anything like that, but actually go out and explore music in a different way.
Yeah, having our own style, I think. I think if you listen to our album too, or not album yet, but if you can see us live, from top to bottom, every song is a little bit different. It's got a lot of uniqueness to it, and it keeps people listening, because it's not just, you can listen to a lot of albums and you'll end up getting like monotony, because every song starts to sound the same, and you just don't get that with us.
Okay. Now, you said about influences. Now, would you like to share some of your influences, like music-wise, or anyone in entertainment?
Well, I can start with myself. I mean, my two main influences, I think, were Chino from Deftones and Maynard from Tool, just because actually Maynard was one that got me to want to sing initially, just because he brought such a unique style and a different look to music, and they still do today. You know, musically and lyrically and vocally, it's just very unique. You don't hear bands like them.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always looked up to him and he always tries different things, tries side projects, just always explores new avenues for entertaining people and expressing himself.
Yeah, I think music-wise, it's kind of my department. I'm really into a lot of new age music and very melodic things that kind of reach at you and speak to you and move phrases. Aside from new age, I mean, I go to the opposite end of the pool. I listen to a lot of metal, a lot of black metal. I played a lot of that, and I also listen to a lot of hardcore. I'm not really all that hip on stuff that's on the radio, but I do appreciate, good hooks, good melodies.
Yeah.
You got to have something that's substantial for people to listen to and grab a hold of.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Music drama, probably growing up, I listened to Metallica like everybody would. Or
Oh,
Poison.
everybody has.
Metallica.
but
Yeah.
Heck
now,
yeah.
As the time progressed, there's a few bands like In Flames, Soilwork, and Cybery. Kind of trying to listen to again. Mimic.
Okay. Now, you guys have played a lot of places around here. You're an Ohio favorite. What is your favorite place to play at?
Gosh. We've
That's
actually
pigeonholing it right
yeah.
there.
Oh,
Well, we
There's a
played
lot
at
of
we
places.
played at a lot of places. Us three over here,
Mhm.
we've been playing together since late 2003.
Okay.
Under a different name, but along the lines of the same music. But as far as the places we played around here, it goes to new management a lot. But McGuffey's is always a nice place to play, and they go through phases where it's not as pleasant to play, but
Mhm.
sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, kind of thing. And that was always a good staple. Bojangles seems to be a very
Oh, yeah,
pleasant place to
Bojangles.
play.
Yeah, and we played WRX as well. So
All right.
Yeah,
we
what's
look
that
to
good
get back
sound
in. We look to get right into getting back all into all these venues again.
There are a lot of decent places to play around here. It just really depends on what kind of show you put together and how you feel to build.
I do love playing McGuffey's a lot too, just because you can get out on the fence and stuff and get into the crowd.
Yes.
It's got a big stage to move around. I love to move around when I play, so you can get a lot of energy out. You're not worried about running into each other and stuff on the ground.
You still do.
Because you got a bad
But we still do somehow.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, it's because we have a really good time doing what we're doing.
I should,
Oh,
probably,
yeah.
I should probably have a cordless microphone. Let's say that.
No, you're okay. A lot worse been spoken, but so you're on good track so far. Now, if you had, I gotta ask you this: if you had a time machine, you could go back anywhere at any point and do something. What would it be and why?
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a lot there.
Yeah.
You want to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
I
Take it, Matt. We're all looking at you.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I'd
Matt.
say we do the Back to the Future thing and take a book back in the future and bet on all this stuff and make a lot
Yes,
of money.
that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Make yourself
Not
alive.
worry about bills and all that stuff. I can just focus on music.
You could own the police, just
Yeah,
like
there you
Biff.
I could go back in time. I think I'd invent Velcro.
There you go.
Mhm.
No, I'd just go back in time when I was a kid and smack myself upside the head.
I think I probably would have done that myself, really. Because, it's between, growing up, we're all older,
Yeah.
I'm 37, I'm the old one.
Grandpa.
Yeah,
The
I'm
first
a
thing.
grandfather, and it's a great thing. It really is, but it hits you, the way things change. And music's always going to change for us.
Yeah.
But we try to, we build ourselves through music, and it's just how we grow with
And I
each
was
other.
just on
Yeah.
around.
I always look to that too, is when we put CDs out and put music out there, with the internet these days and stuff, that'll always be there. And
Oh, yeah.
long after we're gone, somebody might pick it up and listen to us, and maybe we'll touch individuals over the course of years upon years. It's not just today.
Maybe it'll be somebody else's time machine.
Absolutely.
Influence somebody else.
And I actually wanted to talk to you about the internet. You brought that up. Thing is, it seems like the only place you can hear new music, like from artists you may not hear anywhere else, would be the internet. And that's even a problem with major artists. One of my gripes is that the main music channels on TV well, they don't really play music anymore. Like MTV, VH1, they don't really play music unless it's 3 in the morning. And I hate that. But I just want to ask, hey, do you think the lack of music videos or even music shows on cable television, has it hurt like new bands or upcoming bands such as you, of possibly have more audience hearing you?
I think it hurts everyone.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and not just new bands. It's in any band that's trying to make a name for themselves. It's part of the business. It's,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, in a way it is, in a way it's not.
I kind of disagree because I mean, obviously, I mean, if you're saying you kind of feel slighted that the music channels don't play videos and stuff anymore. Excuse me, like they were built to. Things change, and to where we grew up and we were watching music videos. That's no longer there. There's all these reality shows and this and that. So obviously, people are getting their music fix, and they're getting what they need through the internet or whatever means. But I think that's one of the things that we were used to it, and we have a hard time letting go of what we were used to. So whereas people that might be 10, 15 years younger than what we are, that's what they're used to because the music channels never played music when they watched them.
Yeah.
And
So-
so the internet with YouTube and stuff like that, you can watch videos on that anyway.
Yeah.
YouTube now.
And
Yeah.
on top
Yeah,
of it, the internet expands you outside of, before you only had maybe the U.S. Now you got the whole world. And
Yeah.
before I'd have people comment on our page from like Europe,
Wow.
and other countries and stuff, where you're just like they would have never heard your stuff unless you really
That's
knew it.
true.
So maybe the mind frame of like
That's a good
the
point.
music channels don't play videos anymore. Maybe that's one of those things that kind of leaves some people behind, to where they have to acclimate themselves to what's actually going on these days.
We actually have a video on YouTube.
But it's actually
Really?
well,
Oh, really? I didn't catch.
But I think what it is like with MySpace, and everybody takes, instead of having their video on TV, they actually put it on their webpage, or they actually put it on their website. which
Yeah, they
still
can't
gets
do-
hits and still gets things like that. So
And it's
they're
on
finding
demand.
another outlet instead of having an MTV outlet.
Well, that is true. Yeah, the internet's. Thank goodness for the internet. That is true. Or we would be in trouble. There was no internet for for artists to get their music out there.
Once
That's-
that technology goes along, you can just type up YouTube on your iPhone or
Yeah, your
You can get
iPhone.
music anywhere.
Yeah, even the bathroom. On your iPhone, just dial up. Hey, I want to hear some
clock.
clock. I want to hear some Clockwork Soul, maybe.
That's a 20-minute work break.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Now, I want to ask you. I noticed I checked out your MySpace, and I will give you credit. You have some incredible artwork for your band logos and even your album that you gave me here. Who does your artwork, and is there hidden meaning behind the artwork?
He does most. I mean, we actually do a
No,
lot
it
of it.
just what's on my mind and it just goes with the band. Or,
Well, you're awesome. That's all good. Oh, round of applause to him.
We all pretty much do everything in-house. Websites, everything. My wife does our website, we do MySpace pages, we do all of it, all on our end, everything we do.
Okay. And but the hidden meaning part, there's no hidden meaning behind the artwork. There's no message. You
It's
just
kind of what I'm feeling at the time I'm creating it. Or
okay. Well, hats off to you. It is cool stuff. You should check out their MySpace if you can. It's really cool artwork, if you will. Now, you guys have been together. You travel a lot. I want you to share a radio-friendly story that no one's heard of yet. That no one's heard of you guys yet. Might be funny.
Wow.
Gotta be radio friendly.
Yes, radio-friendly. That's why I said that.
Nah, I'm pretty sure Mike has a couple stories or two.
We talk about somebody's birthday party. Well, we all had a pretty good time at that party.
Which birthday party was that?
His son's birthday party.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's very
Yeah,
recent.
I mean, we actually had a really cool moment. It was his son's birthday party, and his son likes our band, and he had no clue that we were going to show up at his house.
That's
Oh,
James
And
sitting behind us.
He had
James.
no clue we were going to show up to his house. He was completely baffled by it. He's came and seen the band, once before, but that was before we played at his house. So we actually had seen us afterwards. So we especially went out to somebody else's house and actually played for the band. Which was actually fun and cool.
Oh, yeah,
And the
the
cops
cops
got called, but we
Oh,
had
no.
all the paperwork there. So the cops left, and we had a real good time. I mean, we really don't. We have a lot of fun times. The shows.
Sounds.
Made a few new fans.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds like it.
I think it was
We're always
30
looking for new
people
ones,
there.
man.
Lots of
You
eating,
gotta
lots
have
of drinking. It's a good time.
All right.
Lots of
Drinking water?
drinking. Lots of
Lots of broken glass.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Now I gotta know, what is your fictional character and why? This is for everybody. Like, yeah, fictional character, like comic book, movies, whatever. What comes to mind?
Start over there.
Yeah.
I like one of the seven dwarfs, Dopey.
Yes.
Wow. Wow, is that it? Why?
Just dude's cool.
Dude's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine's Kane.
Kane?
Kane from Legacy Kane.
Oh, okay.
Because he's just cool.
Hey, I'm a big SpongeBob fan.
Yes.
I love some SpongeBob, man.
Okay.
I'll take me some Peter from Family Guy. Cause
Oh yeah.
Peter.
I mean, I love comedy and that'll make me laugh.
There's no love for Homer and Spider-Man, but that's
I like
okay.
Homer.
Hey,
Yes.
Spider-Man's awesome,
Spider-
dude.
yeah.
Spider-Man's awesome.
Spider-Man was
With great responsibility, wait a minute, I said that wrong. With great power comes great responsibility. That would have been funny if I hadn't screwed up that line.
Okay,
But
that's the movie. It was like, hey.
that was 10 years ago. That's right. I've got a good excuse. Now, this is my last question before we go to break. What would you like to see change in the state of Ohio? Anything you think of that can change us within the state of Ohio? Politically, musically?
The construction on the roadways. I'm telling
Yeah,
you, I mean,
they're
I moved here a year and a half ago, and I have never seen so much construction. Every road is being worked on.
It's still
Yeah.
Orange
And
Barrel.
it's
It's
been
a state
going
flower.
on since
Yeah.
I've been here. I mean, I know that's not very like political or anything like that, but it just drives me nuts. I got to drive like an hour to work every day, and it's like, and also, there are no inspections in this state. So like people drive around with bumpers hanging down. And today I had to avoid a 9-step ladder on the highway that must have just fallen off somebody's truck. But, you know, and a license plate hit my car one day. It was flying
Ew.
on the highway. So
That's my whole ordeal is that, I mean, because we're here to talk about music, is just we need to, you know, it'd be great just to have people come out, you know, I mean, even though it's like a money question, everybody's having money issues, and you know, it doesn't take, you know, just a little simple amount to just save up and go out and see a band play, and, you know, have a fun time, you know, I mean, it's great to do. I mean,
I would like to see some jobs.
it just helps everybody out
Yeah,
in a way.
jobs would be nice.
Jobs would be nice.
Yeah, jobs would be nice too.
As far as the music front goes, Daniel, let's see,
Yeah.
kind of what ties into the, the playing videos on certain channels that are,
Yeah.
billed as music stations. Well, one of the things that's changed, which seems very apparent, especially in the last, like, about 8 to 10 years, is there are definitely a lot less people coming out to see shows.
Oh, there is?
Was, yeah.
Oh, no.
And it seems, especially in this area, that there's a whole lot less bands. So that's one of the things I I would like to kick it old school, but I know, the more I hope for old things to come back, the more I'm left in the dust kind of thing. But it would be nice to see a whole, new cream of the crop kind of bands come out and kind of trying to do their thing and build a fan base. But original bands, and there's even cover bands for that aspect, they seem to be kind of few and far between.
Yeah.
But, that's just one thing I know.
We used to be a lot bigger though.
It also had a lot to do with that no smoking law too.
I don't know. A whole bunch of bars don't really observe that anyway.
Yeah.
We're allowed to
Unless the
smoke
cops
on there.
come, then they're like, "Hey, quit that smoking. I'm the law."
Cops
All right.
asking you for a cigarette.
Yeah.
It's now time to say goodnight to the state of Ohio. But before I say goodnight, Ohio, I want to talk about I want to revisit something I mentioned just a few weeks ago. I think it was my first episode. I was talking about problems in the public schools with school bullying and issues and hatred and bad things happening, and how students can be stressed out when something bad happens to them. Unfortunately, I have to name something really terrible that's happened recently that's been in the news. But in Ohio, a couple of Ohio teens have committed suicide after being bullied. And it is on the rise in America, unfortunately. So I'll read some of this article. Let's see. Bullying in schools and cyberspace bullying are on the rise, and the consequences are fatal. The Associated Press recently reported a story about 4 Ohio teens who took their own lives after being tormented and teased to the point of no return. The small Cleveland suburb has been plagued numerous times, and parents of the victims are devastated and they are very outraged. The families of the victims, one who was bullied for being gay, one for having a learning disability, and another who was a boy who liked to wear pink, are suing the school district, as they should. This was announced after the mother of the most recently casualty, Saldana Vadovic, decided to sue. Now, I'll spell her name, Sladjana. It's a hard name for me. That's her last name, but she took her own life by hanging herself. The last words of this innocent 16-year-old were handwritten in a note that spoke of her everyday nightmares of being teased of her Croatian accent and called her an explicit word while having food thrown at her. Wow. If you ask me, these are called bullies, and they are cowards with nothing to offer society except the promise to take taxpayers' money while they inevitably rot in a jail cell. This is an outrageous legacy that needs to end. Parents need to get involved and make sure they are there to build a child's self-esteem and take them out of these situations that need be. Now, the last two sentences, that was from the website, but I agree completely. They took the words right out of my mouth. That is complete garbage. And these children are doing this. It's really mean what you're doing. It's crap. I don't entirely blame them, though, completely. Some of the blame, half the blame goes to them, but they got this somewhere. I can't figure out who they got it from. It could be in numerous amount of sources. It could have been from a gym teacher. It could have been from the old football coach. It could have been from maybe their parents are jerks. They learned it from their parents. They didn't know any better. And it's led to the death of these children who never realized their full potential. And this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I was talking about many weeks ago. If your kid has to go to school, they should not be tortured like this. If you really love your child, make sure their education is safe. They deserve better. They not deserve to be called names and be made fun of by sick-minded little children that, like they deserve to go to jail and a bunch of other things. That's really sad. I'm sorry to hear that. It's something that's happened recently, these 14s. It's happened in other schools too. There was a kid in California that happened to. It's an article. You can check it out at associatedcontent.com. Or look up teen suicide in Ohio. I think it's on there too. That's how I found it. That's something I want to talk about. And actually, I want to get to something else. It's the same thing, really. I want to talk about suicide in general. Because life is really short. There's so many happy things you can do in your life. There's so many cool things you can do. I know life is not fair sometimes. People can be really mean. You can't guarantee that nothing bad will ever happen to you. You have to think happy. You have to stand up for yourself. And that's what I do. I haven't had the greatest of lives, but I stand up to myself. I'm working hard every day. And I consider myself lucky considering where I came from. Because I have, like I said, a lot of people, they have situations they don't want to go through. But that's life, unfortunately. Well, at least not for everyone. A lot of people are born with silver spoons in their mouths. And if they're good people, I don't blame them. Some people do take that for granted. They were very lucky in life. They had a good card dealt to them. And I'm all happy for it. It's really sad. I'll just end with this. If you're having suicidal thoughts, if you're going to kill yourself, or you have thoughts of killing yourself, stop that immediately. Think something you need help immediately. You need to talk to someone you can trust. If you don't trust your family, maybe you can't trust your parents, which that's fine, but you need someone to talk to. Talk to a grandparent, or talk to a counselor. Talk to anybody. Just look up a phone book, or you can go on the internet and type help. Say that you need help with suicide, and it's there. There's plenty of websites. What's that one website I was talking about years ago? Oh, The Right Love in Her Arms. Yeah, that was a website I talked about a long time ago. They're an awesome place. I highly recommend that group. They have a website. They got a number to call. To Right Love on Her Arms. Go there immediately if you're having suicidal thoughts. And let's have a safe Halloween season. Because this seems to be time of year a lot of people do commit suicides towards Christmas. It has to do with depression and with weather changing. This is the time of year people decide to take their lives. Stop that thinking right now and get help. And get to that website I mentioned. So rightloveonherarms.com. So that's it for me. Hope everyone has a good weekend, and I'll see you next week. So, good night, Ohio.